Hey everybody, Sean McInnes and Peter Brown here, and Valve has just announced some very big hardware news. All those Steambox rumors, well, turns out they were true. They just announced the Steam Machines program, where they're basically going to be bringing some SteamOS boxes to the market in 2014, right?
Yeah, they're currently prototyping a few things right now, and their plan is to give 30 boxes to the most prominent community members in the Steam. But then they're letting people apply, and they're going to choose randomly 300 more people to give them out to.
Yeah, and so that program, basically the deadline for registering for that, is going to be late October, and then you should receive a piece of beta hardware by the end of 2013. And essentially, Valve is working on their own prototype hardware. Yeah. There's going to be a number of different OEMs also working on hardware. So there's going to be, what Valve claims, a range of different hardware pricing and performance configurations to suit your needs.
This is something they've talked about in the past, and right now what they're really working on is trying to find the right balance of size, noise level, and performance, which is pretty important for a lot of people, right? Because PC gaming is traditionally tied to a desk, these big towers, and this is kind of the next iteration of PC gaming, which is in the living room, which is kind of close to a console.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've heard from certain PC gamers in the audience, Kevin, who's maybe not so interested in something like this.
Right.
He's looking at it from his own perspective, which is that I have a fully functional PC in my office or bedroom. I can just lug this out to my living room if I want to. What's the benefit of a SteamOS box?
Well, I think the key to Kevin's argument is he has a fully functional PC that's up to date, and he can lug it. Not everyone really wants to do that. Some people are interested in new consoles, for example, because their PC is too old, and right now, the cost of investing in a really powerful PC that will match the console specs, at least in terms of performance, is a little bit lofty. And it's also important to know that this box and SteamOS are both open source. So you can swap parts out, you can modify the operating system, you can download someone else's version of it. I mean, there's a lot of things that will interest people here.
I agree with everything that you just said, except for the fact that you referred to it as SteamOS. Clearly, it's SteamOS.
SteamOS,
Peter just hasn't had enough coffee this morning.
Well,
I'm really excited about it. One of the things that most excites me is the fact that, obviously, SteamOS it needs to run Linux native games, right?
Yes.
But if you have a capable PC somewhere else in your home, you can stream those games from your PC to your SteamOS box.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess if you can also install Windows on the Steam machine if you prefer, because they've said that really it's just open to you, and then you would just use the big picture mode at that point.
Yeah, sounds really cool. So that's the second of 3 announcements that Valve has coming this week. Yeah. Peter, any guesses for Friday?
I'll let you answer that one, because you had a pretty good guess earlier.
So my guess is a controller, because the best controller on the market right now is obviously the wired Xbox 360 controller. But that is a wired controller, and it's not a great solution for everybody's living room. I think Valve understands that they need something wireless if they're going to really capture the living room space. And I think they're probably going to announce something like that on Friday. The other idea floating around is Valve is going to announce a new game exclusive to SteamOS, but I see about a 1% chance of that actually happening. That runs pretty counter to Valve's whole ethos.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like something they would do. That's the traditional console move when they're trying to convince you to buy one box or the other, and given the sort of open nature of a Steam box, people can experiment with it, and they're not going to have to buy the distinct hardware. They can install it on their own, so there's no really hook there.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out on Friday when that announcement comes, so make sure to tune back into GameSpot.com for more coverage.